Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to my channel. Good morning, guys. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Tea, coffee, matcha? What are we gonna have? What are we gonna have? Guys, all over the internet is these things about Stefan Stearns, the emails that he sent his parents through some tablet that they have in the jail system that he is in, where I guess the inmates share a tablet, apparently. So he gets it for a certain amount of time. Sometimes it's charged, sometimes it's not charged. It's a weird situation. When I worked in the jails, there were no tablets. Of course, there was no tablets at the time either, because when I worked in the jails, there was the dinosaurs. That's what we were keeping in there. I'm joking. I worked in the jails in the late 80s and mid 90s. To the late 80s to the mid 90s, I worked in the jail system. Guys, Stefan Stearns, right? He is the guy that's in jail right now awaiting trial, which now has been postponed, for the unaliving and the actual assault on his girlfriend's daughter, Maddie Soto, Maddie Soto, who was just 13 years old, literally the day after she turned 13. It's assumed that she was unalived and put somewhere where she was later found days later. Guys, the thing with Stefan Stearns is, and the thing with Jen Soto, who's Maddie's mom, is that it seems, according to Stefan Stearns' mom, we're totally under the impression, allegedly, that Jen knew what was going on. Because there has been paperwork that has been released, and the emails of those, the paperwork of those emails have been shared. You know, Stefan Stearns' mom wants to know why her son isn't talking about supposedly Jen Soto and telling on Jen Soto, because she feels like her son is taking the heat for everything that's gone on, and that Jen might have been involved too, allegedly. But she feels more than may have been. She's convinced that she was involved. So what the hell was really going on there? What the hell was really going on there? Could Stefan possibly have groomed this young child since 8 years old, right? Could he have groomed and messed with her head so that she thought she was in a relationship with him? And maybe Jen found out about it, and maybe Jen was jealous of her own daughter after letting her sleep in the same bed as him, thinking that that was cute up until a certain age, and then you just missed something that happened. What happened there? Why isn't Jen Soto doing time? Why isn't she arrested? What is going on? You know, Stefan Stearns' mom wants to know why her son isn't saying anything about Jen, because she should be doing the same time according to his mom. And does she know something, or is she just assuming something? Stefan Stearns' parents were 32 and 35 when he was born. He's an only child. He has really nothing to show for his life. No accomplishments. Just a bunch of toys. So how mature was he? He's basically lived off his parents, or lived off of Jen, Jen Soto has lived off of her dad and off of the child support for her daughter, and lived as a couch potato. And home all the time, still couldn't protect her kid, but needed her sleep for what? For what? Let's understand something. There is no way in hell, regardless of anything that happened in that fucking house, that makes Maddie Soto responsible. She was 13 years old. Stefan came into her life when she was 8 years old. Why didn't she tell anybody what was going on? In her mind, could she have thought that possibly she was involved in a real relationship? Listen, guys, I'm just giving an idea here. You remember the teacher that fell in love with the student and ended up doing time in jail, had 2 kids by the student, right? Right? Billy, what was his name? Right? Billy? He was around that age. And he ended up thinking he was in love, and definitely was in love for decades, to marry Letourneau, right? To marry Kay Letourneau, or whatever her name was. She passed on. But they had 2 kids together. He was about the same age, convinced wholeheartedly he was in love with her. Built a life with her after and everything, right? And I know that they were divorced when she passed on, but he was still there. He was still there, and he said that he loved her. They just couldn't make it work at the end. Did something kind of like that maybe happen in the Soto household there? Could that have happened? And could Jen have just had enough? Could Jen actually be involved? I just want to know why this child didn't say anything to her dad, or didn't say anything to her mom, her stepmom, didn't say anything to anybody. Supposedly she said nothing to nobody, right? Why? Why? Did he threaten her? Was she afraid he'd get in trouble? We don't know what happened inside of that house. We don't know the dynamics of what went on there. We only know that there was a sick and twisted event after event after event after event that went on there for at least 5 years. And nobody, there's not one kid that has come out and said, oh, she told me at lunchtime. Oh, she told me. They just said she wanted to go live in the woods. Know why? She said she wanted to go live in the woods. Guys, there is something that is very, very sus in this, even more so than all of the nastiness that we already know. There was some sort of mind control, mind play here. Brainwashing. Obviously, how easy is it to brainwash an 8-year-old child into having her believe anything you want, especially when the mom's keeping stump about it. So Stefan Stearns getting origami books, Lord of the Rings, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. His parents don't want him at all to spend a moment of his time thinking about his crime. Because if I was his parent, stare at the fucking wall, son, and think about what the fuck you did. Guys, do you have any ideas that what you think, what makes sense, any theories you have about Maddie and what went on there? Do you think she possibly thought maybe she was involved in a relationship with this man, and that's why she never told anybody anything, because she felt like she was shamed and not him? What happened in that house, and how come quiet for so long? How come she never said anything? Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. What's going on with the way that we're not taking care of our children, so that the innocence of our children is disappearing? Tell me what you think in the comments, guys. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Don't forget, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind, guys. Always be kind. Thanks.